Hi, this is Kevin Nealon, and you're listening to Larry and Wiggins on the Larry Uncensored podcast.
What up? This is your boy Craig Robinson. You're listening to the Larry Uncensored podcast with Larry and Wiggins.
On this episode, MMA fighter Shayna, the Queen of Spades.
You know, Ronda and The Rock and everyone at Triple H are all talking about their spot. Like, man, what can we do, you know? And Ronda's like, well, I can do this Uchi Maki Komi, whatever, you know, a judo name for it. You know, Triple H is like, maybe I could get an NXT guy to come in here and you can throw him so I can see what it is. And I'm like, I can actually take that. I can do that.
I'll take that bump.
I'm cool. And Jess is like, Shayna, your knee. And I'm like, shut the fuck up right now.
We'll also talk with Olympian, actor, and inventor of the vape hoodie, Elvis Papi Edwards.
He was in the scene in Bad Boys, Elvis was, that pissed me off. Because this was the scene where right before they're about to storm the house,
yes,
and right before they get into it, and so the guys are in the tunnel like,
yes,
all right, we're gonna drive the electric motor car.
Guess who will pick up the electric car? Me.
Oh, that was you. Oh, God.
That and so much more in episode 31 of Larry Uncensored Uncensored.
This podcast is sponsored by Larry H. Miller Lakewood Ford and The Green Solution.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if you're going to see the new Star Wars movie. It looks good and everything, but I'm not in it as I died in Star Wars number 3. Hello from the dark side. Are you ready for another ride? Make sure when you see it, you're totally baked. Star Wars number 7, the Force is awakened.
Hi, Wendy. My name is Spencer Keenan. I'm calling from Consultants Incorporated.
Yeah.
I do have to inform you that the call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance. Did you used to live at the 25 Estes Street?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, Wendy, we have a past due balance here in collections for the past due amount of $813.32. We are calling today for a resolution on the account or a payment arrangement to be set into place so that we can go ahead and get it out of collections. We accept Visa, MasterCard, or check by phone.
Well, is there anything like I can do like half now and like work off the other half?
Of course. We can always set you up for the 406.66 today, and then we can set you up for the remaining balance and we can break up the remaining balance into different payments.
You're so sweet. That would be great. What is your name?
My name is Keenan.
You're so sweet. Thank you so much for helping me.
Of course.
I totally spaced on this bill.
Okay, so let's do the 406.66 today, and then that remains 406.66 left over. So do you just want to break that up into two payments of, let's see what that would be. Let me just calculate this really quick.
By the way, you sound really cute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
sound
so much.
adorable.
So we'll do you want to break it up? 406.66 today, 203.33, and 203.33. Does that work for you for the remaining balance?
Let me check. Let's see. Yeah, that does work because that leaves me a little money to take you to dinner.
All right, Wendy. Let's go ahead and get this set up. Did you want to use check, debit, or credit card?
Do you like sushi?
Of course I do, Wendy. Let's go ahead and set this up, though, so we can go ahead and stop the collection activity.
I would like to rub my sushi on your ginger. Hello? Hello?
The Larry Uncensored Uncensored fall line is out.
Milan, darling, Milan.
Check out the new Uncensored t-shirt collection for men and women at LarryUncensored.com.
Because you're trying to tell the world that you take yourself too seriously to care about what you put on your back.
Only $20 with shipping included.
We welcome to the podcast MMA fighter Shayna, the Queen of Spades. So first, can you explain what's the difference between MMA and UFC?
So the Dana White, the UFC the NFL of what we do. It's like the top of the it's the thing people know. People use UFC as a synonym for MMA.
Right.
Do you UFC, bro?
Right.
And it doesn't even make. Do you NFL, bro? It doesn't make sense. But I mean, it's the way it is. That's just how they changed the paradigm. But Dana White had said previous to Ronda Rousey, women will never be in the UFC, and so we were fighting on every other major card, on Showtime, for Show XC, for Elite.
How far
XC.
back was this, you think? Like a few years?
It's been like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Now,
So he said this
Ronda
recently, yeah.
Yeah, so this was not too long ago. And then Ronda came along. And here's the thing. There was MMA long before Ronda. There were best in the worlds in women's MMA before Ronda. But it took Ronda to convince Dana White, girls can sell tickets. And, she's... I think a lot of things, especially, like, I've been in the sport a while, and I think a lot of things that the younger fighters miss sometimes, or even some fans, is that our job, yes, is to fight, but our job is to sell tickets. And that's something that Ronda does better than
If you don't sell tickets, you don't get in the fight.
My coach is a pro wrestler, also, and a fighter, Josh Barnett. He fights in the UFC. And he always told me, if a promoter can replace you with someone cheaper, they will. So you have to do something to make yourself irreplaceable.
Right.
Yeah.
And she does that.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to brand yourself in the way that all the athletes do.
Yeah.
Do you like speaking of her last fight, like I saw the press, they had clips of her appearances on different talk shows leading up to it. And, I get the whole, you have to be in that mindset that, I'm going to beat this girl. But she was sounding a little cocky on talk shows, but I maybe that's just the way you're supposed to sound. But I saw one interview that she did with Kimmel, and she talked about, she kind of almost foreshadowed, she's like, well, if she kicks me in the head.
I think it was with Fallon, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Fallon.
It was Fallon.
And so it was just crazy that she kind of said that. Do you think that, watching that fight, do you think she was not prepared for that fighter,
what was coming,
that kind of fighter?
I think it's I think that it's fighting, and things happen, and
Any given
it just
Sunday.
happened that and it happened that Holly was on that day, and she followed a very specific game plan to a T, and she comes from a world-class gym with world-class coaches, just like Ronda, and I'm not claiming to be religious or anything, but I majored in religion more because I'm interested in it than anything. But there's this verse that I always use that I called the Jiu-Jitsu Bible verse, right? And it says, the race doesn't always go to the fastest. The contest doesn't always go to the strongest. So on any day, it could be anybody's fight.
Right.
So, a lot of times, I think even the fans bought into hype. Because let's just be honest. Yay, if you hate Ronda, yay, Holly won. Yeah, she got what she deserved. She's so cocky.
They wanted that interest.
But
It's
the
a
truth
business.
is, before that fight, you didn't believe she was going to lose any more than anyone else did.
Right.
The only people I think that really thought Holly was going to win was Holly and her coaches.
Right.
So you can talk all the crap you want. Can I swear on this?
Oh, you can say whatever
Say
the
whatever
fuck you want.
You can talk all the shit you want about Ronda. You can hate her. But you didn't believe it either.
Yeah.
And
Right.
if you say you did, you're a liar.
How did you get into it? Like, at what age?
Yeah, explain the 4 horsewomen, because that's you actually know Ronda, right?
Wait,
Yeah,
go back to South Dakota first.
Yeah, like
Where it all started.
it was like just yesterday.
We're on Grindr.
Well,
No.
what happened is my dad. I'm from South Dakota originally, and my dad and my uncle are wrestling coaches. And so I grew up on a wrestling mat. I was a girl, and they don't have girls don't wrestle, so it's not something I really. I didn't compete. I didn't really pay attention to it. I was just at practice in a wrestling room, moving around on a mat, doing high energy athletic kid, just goofing off in my mind. And there happened to be this little shitty amateur show in Sioux Falls. It was so bad they had just gymnastics mats in a conference room in a hotel,
wow.
and they had big boxing gloves with the laces taken out. So you could punch if you had these gloves on. If you wanted to wrestle and grab, you could throw the gloves off, but then you couldn't punch anymore. So there was this girl who had some pro boxing experience that was just beating up all these other girls that just they were street fighters.
They should bring that in now. They should let you do that now.
She was beating up all these girls, and I didn't know anything about MMA or submissions or anything, but I just knew from growing up around wrestling, and I didn't really know what the goal was for me, but I was like, if I could just take her down, and she wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I had this plan that I was going to fight her, and right when they said to start, I was going to throw my gloves off right away and shoot on her. But we ended up not ever fighting, and I just took fights and kept calling her out. It was like this local, like,
little beef.
Yeah, like I would call her out after I'd beat some other girls, and we ended up never fighting. But as the sport grew and I got more and more opportunities and I started winning fights I wasn't supposed to, and just got bigger and bigger opportunities, and it went from there.
You have that swag, like you have a fighter swag. Like in other words, like to me, it's like Ronda Rousey and the girl that beat her. You just have that certain swag about you. Do you, like, if we were all in a bar, I would, like, let you handle shit. Because I'd be like, even if it was a guy, I'd be like, she's got this. Yep. I'll buy the shots after you demolish him.
The funny thing about that is that we talk about this as fighters, and, you were talking about the Four Horsemen. We're probably the four least likely to, if an altercation, if we were in a bar and some shit started going down over there, we'd be like, I'm not getting into that. Because, when you're in a gym and you're training and you're fighting against the best trained people in the world, you don't really have to prove yourself to some drunk idiot. However, we're also not afraid to open our mouths when we think something needs to be said.
Yeah. Right, something's unjust. No, I'm saying we're getting mugged, and I'm going to let you handle it.
Yeah. And, the whole argument, like the men versus women thing, we all train with guys that know what they're doing, and we can handle our own. Now, I'm not one of those crazy people that's like, girls can be just like it, because when it comes down to it, when the training is equal, strength and size does matter. Mm-hmm. However, a trained female against an untrained male, the trained female will win every time.
Yes,
for sure.
Exactly.
And I go overseas. I'm going on my 4th tour overseas over the holidays to train the soldiers and grapple with them. So we're talking like big beefhead Marines, and we have fun and clown them.
Yeah.
So it's and that's
because they're probably being cocky in the sense that they can beat you,
for
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's not talking shit on them. They're tough. The military. I'm a big supporter of the military, but it's just an example. So if a guy is like, I could beat that girl, well, you wouldn't say that about that Marine,
right?
And we're over there teaching those guys,
right?
So,
no, for
that's
sure.
Cool.
So what is the Four Horsemen? How does that come into play?
Horsewomen.
Horsewomen.
So,
yeah, you're gonna get your ass beat, dude.
How dare you insult us?
Right, I know who sounds like a horseman.
Well, I've been a fan of pro wrestling my whole entire life.
Me too.
So,
woo!
Yeah, so I was on this reality show, The Ultimate Fighter.
You were? When was that? What season?
Season 18.
Okay, that's awesome. Was it on Spike? Was that when it was?
It was the first season on Fox Sports.
Okay.
What was
Jess
the prize?
and Duke was on there too.
What was the?
You got a contract, right?
Yeah, six-figure contract.
Yeah,
everyone got a contract. See, that's what they don't tell you. Everyone gets a contract. It's just the winner gets a 6-figure contract, and it's 6 figures over 3 years.
Oh wow!
So it's not even that awesome,
right? And it's like Idol. It's like when you are one of the finalists in Idol, you're already signed to a record contract just by being a finalist, and then they can let you see.
And they own your soul.
They totally do.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's almost better to get second.
Oh, no, trust me. Yeah, right, because then you are like a little more of a free agent.
Like you're famous, but you have a little more freedom, yeah.
Oh, no, you don't understand. Like, we learned that in our recent kind of contract situation that I found out the contract that I signed, I'm like pretty much like locked into whoever has the contract. Like, in other words, I can get offered whatever from another company or another radio station, but they have the right to match it at any time. So in other words,
fine print,
right? So if they kind of own me, and like before when I saw artists like bitching and moaning, I'd be like, oh, why is that recording artist bitching and moaning? They're probably rich. Da, da, da. I didn't realize until you get locked into a situation that you can't see your way out of, that legally, and you're like, oh man, they kind of like own me. It kind of sucks.
How far did you make it with Ultimate Fighter? Did you get?
Well, I was the asshole of the season for one.
Oh, okay.
So like, there's always that asshole that everyone hates. That was me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
but but it's viewers, right?
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
for sure.
It's whatever.
You're the one that everybody
But I
remembers.
lost to the girl that ended up winning this season.
Oh, okay.
It was a big upset. I was the number 1 seed, and I'm pretty sure that in any tournament, like NCAA, anything, the number 1 seed is a curse, right? And it's never the number 1 seed that wins. Oh, it was horrible. But anyways, what came out of it was that it was the season where Ronda and Misha were the coaches. And so that, surprisingly, as much as we'd both been fighting and talked about, and up to that time, I was ranked in the top 5, so I was always in a discussion with Ronda when people would talk, but we never met. And so we didn't meet till the show, and we were like, hey, it's crazy we haven't met. Video games, yeah, zombie stuff, cool. And so, we became friends.
And she was your coach at that time? Was she your coach?
Yeah, they picked teams.
Okay.
It's like high school kind of.
First pick.
You were first pick. She likes zombies and video games, and she can fight. Get over here.
Yeah. So, long story short, from the show, Jessamine Duke, myself, Marina Shafir, who is Ronda's best friend growing up, and Ronda, we all became really good friends. Life happened. Ronda invited us out to Venice, and then we all decided to never leave. So
nice.
We all kind of live and train in this house. So I'm watching wrestling every Monday and Friday.
Was it on a weird time in Venice? What time?
No, we would pick up the East Coast stream.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just watching wrestling, and none of them really followed wrestling, but they kind of got sucked in because I'd always have it on. So then they started
so Ronda didn't even watch wrestling.
No,
wow.
So she got sucked in because she's into movie stunts and stuff, so she really appreciates the kind of
choreography,
stage show stunt work that they do.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Jess is kind of like my understudy. So catch wrestling is the martial art that I practice the most, and catch wrestling has a very tied-in background with pro wrestling.
Okay.
And so the history of the martial art was important to her, and then Marina just loves drama and reality.
So it all works
she
out.
loves the drama. So what happened is all of us are heels. We're bad guys in the MMA world. We talk shit. I mean, Ronda, right?
Right.
And just by being associated with Ronda,
You get that stigma.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, I was the asshole of the season, so
You made a name for yourself. Yeah,
it
it's
just
not
kind of
just
worked
her.
out. Everybody hated us. So the Four Horsemen, the original Four Horsemen, were like the most famous heel bad guy team in pro wrestling of all time.
Oh,
Ric
nice.
Flair.
Yep. And so we had a fan actually that tweeted a picture of the Four Horsemen, was like, you guys should recreate this. You guys are the Four Horsemen. And we all looked at each other. We're like, we should totally do this.
Yeah, right?
And so in the original picture, they have all 4 of them have belts, right?
Uh-huh.
So like Ole and Arn had the tag belts, and Tully Blanchard at the time had the U.S. title, and then Ric Flair had the heavyweight title. And so all of us didn't have our belts. We're just at Ronda's and had stayed there basically for an extra long vacation, right? So, so we were like, we made this ridiculous, like we have Ronda's UFC belt and her Strikeforce belt and like her Olympic
is that
medal.
it right there?
Yeah.
There it is.
And
right
like
there.
her Olympic medal, and then like Marina's holding a machete for some reason. Like we just didn't know. So like it's a really tongue-in-cheek picture. But it caught on, so we do these appearances, right? Go autograph signings and stuff. And like the crowds, the people in line started throwing 4s up all the time at us. So we started doing it, and we had, we have haters too. That
Yeah,
are
of
like,
course.
you
You always get haters.
Yeah.
You can't see without them.
It's kind of stuck. And the thing about the 4 of us is we live and train together. We're really friends. So if you can find another female MMA team,
that's strong in that type of relationship.
yeah,
It's not possible.
I mean, they'll be like, there's all these arguments people make on, that's such a disgrace to call yourselves that. No. Okay, it's pro wrestling,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, there's not a team that's, a women's team in mixed martial arts that's more talked about than us.
See, that's tight. And yeah, it's all about image. And it's like, and everything's cyclical. Everything comes around. And there's always 2 versions of one. You know what I mean? That's so dope.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Now, were you at the WrestleMania when she was there?
Yeah,
Because you were ringside, right?
Yeah. So
That's so dope, man. I'm telling you, I was watching that, so I remember when she got in there, I was like, because Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, the biggest thing, their pay-per-view, she's in there with The Rock. So that was like her first real WWE appearance, right? And you were sitting there right at ringside.
So, like, here's a funny story about that whole thing. So, I had a fight a week before that. The Saturday before, a week before that, basically. And Ronda didn't tell me. I'm the biggest pro wrestling fan out of the four of us, right?
You mark out. You're just a nerd, yeah.
And so because I had my fight, they kept it a secret from me that we were going to WrestleMania. So after my
Keep
fight,
you focused, right?
I tore my ACL in my fight.
Ah.
And so after the fight, I'm all depressed and whatnot. And she tells me, like, okay, I didn't want to tell you this before your fight, but we're going to WrestleMania. We got this hotel room. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
Crazy, right? So I'm like limping around because I tore my ACL. And we're in the back before WrestleMania. Yeah. And you know, Ronda and The Rock and everyone at Triple H are all talking about their spot. Like, man, what can we do, you know? And Ronda's like, well, I can do this Uchi Maki Komi, whatever, you know, a judo name for it. Yeah. Honestly, I don't really know what it is, but Triple H is like, maybe I could get an NXT guy to come in here and you can throw him so I can see what it is. And I'm like, I can actually take that. I can do that.
I'll take that bump.
I'm cool. And Jess is like, Shayna, your knee. And I'm like, shut the fuck up right now. So I'm getting like tossed around from Ronda in the ring just because I'm like, I want to show them I can bump.
Right.
You know? So it was a good time.
That's an awesome experience.
Did it hurt your knee?
It doesn't hurt to land.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts to land, but not your knee.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, but you're back there with Triple H and The Rock at WrestleMania.
Right.
You're marking out. You're all, I'll break my other leg.
It's already messed up, right? I gotta,
exactly.
What's gonna happen?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
So, are you gonna focus on? Because you said UFC kind of gives you a little break in between. What is your passion? Like, is your passion where you just want to do UFC, or do you want to kind of venture off and try the NXT professional wrestling world?
This is where you're gonna hear this jaded old crotchety fighter come out of me, because the truth is, I love fighting. I'm a fighter. I've been a fighter. It's what I know. But like, I'm having so much fun pro wrestling. And when the bottom line is whatever better deal comes along, I'm not going to turn it down. Right. But, I'm at this stage where I kind of hate what the sport has become. And it's
for MMA or
for MMA.
For MMA. Okay.
The MMA fans, and then I'm gonna have there's always exceptions, for everyone that's gonna like roll their eyes and hate on what I say, but for the most part, generalization, MMA fans as a whole are the worst, the absolute worst of all sports fans of any sport.
Really?
And I think it's because everyone thinks they know how to fight.
Yeah.
It's like something they think they know how to do naturally. Like nobody would sit down next to Brett Favre at a bar and be like, dude,
this is how you throw a football.
I could teach you some things.
Right.
But I'm like in the top 10 for how many years, and I would have guys like, oh, that's what you do? You know what? I could show you some things. Like, I bet you could.
Right? And you're like,
it's annoying.
Well, that's that guy upstairs.
Right.
Yeah. And so I think it's kind of mainstream, and it's a blessing and a curse, I guess. It's
Well, because you're almost fighting for women and as a whole just to be respected. I mean, Ronda got that respect now, but I mean, yeah, Ronda's one person. It's like you guys, like you said, it's the four horsewomen having to fight to be like, hey, look, we can kick ass. We're badasses.
And even beyond that, there was back in the day, it was more about like, okay, these two girls are fighting. Some of my best friends I've had the most epic wars with, right? And we became friends after that because you kind of experience a side of each other that is not going to be anywhere else, right? So that's like getting really deep and philosophical with you, but like there used to be like, okay, there's a winner and there's a loser, but everyone at the end was like, wow, you guys
that was a great show,
you guys fucked yourselves up so that we could. That was awesome to see
for our entertainment.
And like nowadays, it's this kind of mainstream thing where it's like, you guys fight, and the winner is like, oh, you're awesome, and you suck. You should never fight. You fucking suck. You're a horrible fighter, and it's bad.
Wow.
And with social media and all this, I think the sport has become I don't know.
A playground for people who don't know how.
No, you know what it is? It's a bunch of fucking assholes.
Yes,
it really is. And it's like you can go on social media and put like a bottle of water, you holding a bottle of water, and there's going to be 10 arguments.
Yeah. Like, the plastic and the
fuck you.
Yeah,
It's like,
you're
no,
horrible.
you kill the people of Fiji by drinking that water.
Kill yourself.
Yeah, anything is up for grabs, and everybody's got
It's
an
true.
opinion. You're absolutely right. That is bullshit.
And you think about this, though. Everybody think about the stereotype MMA guy, right? He's a douchebag in your head right now, right? That's the stereotype. That's what MMA has become, and I hate it.
Yeah, unless you know
MMA
some
used
of them,
to be,
then
right.
you're like, they're cool.
There's always exceptions,
Yeah.
but like MMA used to be a cool kind of hipster
rarity.
special
Yeah.
thing.
It was
Like,
rare.
Now it's become a
Everybody's
mainstream
brother.
now
business.
it's this thing like everybody's cool and it's I don't know. So that's the thing I actually love about pro wrestling is you're like boo during the match, right? Oh, hey, yeah,
Right.
you're the good guy, but then at the end everyone's like, wow, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what it is.
Yeah, it's an appreciation, and I get more appreciation in the pro wrestling world for what I've done in my fight career than I do from MMA fans in general.
Yeah, that's cool.
crazy.
And less wear and tear, I would think. I mean,
No, it's worse.
No, it's worse.
So it
That's
is.
what
Far
I,
worse.
professional wrestling is intense. Like
Way more. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm a
Yeah.
harder on you.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
Because I would think that it's, to a certain degree, it's like choreographed, right? I mean,
no, because you're
It's,
still taking those bumps. Like you could still have a plan of
Here's
how
the
it's going to
thing, here's
happen,
the thing.
but
So in a fight, she could try to kick me in the head, but I can block it. I can punch her back. But like if we have this spot in a wrestling match where it's like, okay, you're gonna kick me in the head, I can't block it. I'm not supposed to hit it. Like I'm still getting kicked in the head.
You're supposed to take it.
So it's
she's
it's
just supposed to kick at a certain.
And here's the thing too is that in an MMA fight, if I fuck up, that's on me.
Right.
Yeah.
But in a pro wrestling match, because it is a scripted, somewhat scripted thing, if I fuck up, I fucked it up for her too. There's another person depending on me being on. So
For
there's a lot more
injuries and not just
pressure.
messing up, but
Right.
actually causing a severe injury.
Yeah, and she has to trust me. I'm going to waylay a kick into her, but I'm going to waylay it in a place that's safe. But
Right.
it's still going to be hard so the crowd hears it and it's
Right.
brutal.
So, but like, here's the thing though. I look at you and I look at the girls that are on the show, the divas, and I think that you could kick all their asses. You know what I mean?
But that's what it's evolving to, though. It definitely is evolving.
It's
that way.
definitely evolving now, and it's a thing I've already had to play with. I have some pro wrestling matches on the indie circuit, but I'm so well known as a fighter that we've had to get creative with how is it believable if. How is this girl going to stand a chance? If we really got in a fight,
Right.
everyone knows what would happen,
Yeah.
but how are we going to...
Yeah.
So it's been a fun thing it's been fun.
But then you get to
Right.
build a character too and a persona, and you
I'm kind of lucky where for right now I kind of have this built in because
of who you
I've
are.
already the Queen of Spades is a brand in MMA already, so I kind of bringing all this over, and I'm this arrogant prick in MMA anyway, so I can bring
Right.
this
That's
over.
good. You're a rebel.
Yeah. So
Well, that's good.
so it's I kind of have lucked out there. Plus, I've done the whole like performing in front of a million people and doing interviews and
Yeah, you can tell you're really comfortable.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I kind of am like getting a good jump start. But,
Well, no, because I see. I'm a wrestling nerd. Watch it like for the business aspect of it. I love the way that the performance comes together. I love how they have to do promos.
the cape.
I wear the cape. No, but I'll go crazy like
Kid
at
in a
ringside.
candy
See,
store when he's front row.
Yeah,
I'm like
having-
taking pictures of him and sending it to him.
yeah,
I
having
see
his all.
you.
I see you, and I was like, yeah. I like pissing him off because I like knowing the inside stuff, and it's like I told Jack Swagger one year, I was like, you suck at wrestling that you have to have a manager that doesn't even speak English walk you out here. I said something like that. And he literally waited till the lights came off and then got pissed and gave me a look. But I was like, I got to you. You know, it's like, it's just something to it that's just awesome. But with the NXT and watching the network that they have and seeing that, why aren't you're perfect for that? Is that not something?
Well, I train with a lot of the, like, Natty is a really close friend of mine. We train all the time. Some of the other there's a lot of big name indie wrestlers. Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Yeah,
he's one of my pro wrestling coaches. So I have this in right. Like I could call him up and probably like go get a tryout or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not trying to claim that I'm someone awesome just yet, but I really want to pay my dues. I don't want to come in like some entitled MMA douchebag. Like
Which
because
is what some do in that business.
right, and
yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want their respect. I want I want to learn. I want to do the art justice. I don't. Those guys put so much work, and it's so much harder than people can ever begin to imagine. And I don't want to disrespect somebody that's been putting years into it by just jumping in and trying to bank off of my
that's
cool
cool.
UFC
No,
name.
for sure.
So,
That's legit.
I want to put the time in and get in the right way.
I'm
through the front
picturing
door.
like a female Ken Shamrock. You know what I mean? Like just total, like just a badass that just, everyone is just scared shitless of. But at
and
the
it's
same
a great time because you're talking about the NXT girls coming up,
Yeah.
and the wrestling is a lot more realistic
Yeah.
and violent. It's not this whole sex thing anymore.
Yeah, and
it's
that's
changing.
kind of what the Divas was based on. Like,
Right.
let's get some
Forever.
pretty girls in there, blah, blah, blah. And then they made those pretty girls, they kind of whipped them into wrestlers versus a real fighter.
Grabbing wrestler, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's changing now to where Triple H and NXT has done a really good job of making pro wrestling. And actually, if you talk to those girls, they'll all tell you that Ronda Rousey and the UFC has really changed the way they do it because it's convinced Vince McMahon, like, oh, maybe
Pay
people
attention.
are ready to see violent women, not
Right.
you know,
Or
like
just
because-
more real.
Yeah, and so Ronda has a hand in also changing the way pro wrestling
Yeah,
is done on
agreed.
the mainstream too.
Now, are the 4 NXT girls? Are they? Do they call themselves the 4 Horsewomen?
Yeah,
and does
they're
that piss
janking
you
our
off?
gimmick.
Oh,
Because
that's
that
BS.
yeah,
Janking
no,
it.
because I thought of that when
That-
you sent me their video, and I was like, and then I was watching the NXT, and I was like, that's some bullshit.
Who's
I
copying
was
it?
like,
It's whoever copy wrote it
well,
first.
here's the thing: is that Ric Flair is the OG 4 Horsemen, and his daughter is
his
one of
daughter,
the 4
that's
Horsemen.
right.
But we constantly go back and forth, like on Twitter. We call them the faux horsewomen because they're not a team. Like they're 4 girls that compete against each other. Now they have a hand, you know, dropping the kayfabe and behind the scenes they're the 4 that are changing wrestling into what it is now, real wrestling. But like we actually live and train together. We're an actual
You breathe
stable,
it, yeah.
Right.
And they're just like 4 like they compete against each other. It doesn't even make
See,
sense.
I see a
Right.
creative storyline that could happen. here in
Exactly.
about
I already see a
5
different
years,
reality
yeah.
show bringing the two to battle.
Yeah, WrestleMania 52 or 32. You know,
You know what it is? It's like you guys are Nicki Minaj and they're Iggy Azalea.
That's right.
So what's next then for you?
I have some pro wrestling coming up. I'm going overseas in December, like I said,
Okay.
for the troops and whatnot. And then after that, through
So cool.
January, I'm kind of booked for pro wrestling, and then we'll kind of see what happens after that.
That's cool. That was so cool that you stopped by. And like we said, we got to get Jeff real quick because he's going to be so
Oh
nervous.
man, yeah, dude. If you brought him down here, he won't come down here. I guarantee
bring
he
him
won't
down.
come down
No, I
here.
gotta grab
Because I finally said, "Hey, dude, they're coming in Monday," and he's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing it." I was like, "What?" He's like, I don't want to embarrass myself. I was like, oh, so you know you'll get your ass kicked. No, I don't want to be embarrassed for fucking her up. And I was like, dude, you're not going to fuck her up. I was like, she's
He
gonna...
probably left.
Oh, no, I'm sure he did.
Not
He
up
probably
there.
is. He saw you and was like, oh, shit, man, what I get into. But exactly what you talked about is like you do get those guys who just think that they're gonna fuck you up or want to talk shit to you just because you're a girl, and it's almost like you have to do double battle just to get respect.
It's a funny thing when you grapple a guy.
Oh, here he is.
Right.
What's up?
So like there's this kind of delicate balance. So when a guy comes in the gym, you have to dance this line between showing them that a girl can fuck them up just as easy, or you don't want to crush their soul because you need their money every month. Right?
Yeah.
You don't want them to be like, fuck, I can't come to this gym again and be with my girls. So usually what I do is catch them right away really fast because then whatever.
And then they know it's real.
And then I'll, play
Step
around
by
a little
step.
bit. But
Well, so Larry,
Well, this is Jeff. He's one of our producers, and he was the guy that was going to go hooking up with Ronda Rousey.
they've been setting up this whole thing.
I know,
talking
but-
all kinds of smack.
Here's the thing. Listen, listen. Here's what we'd like to.
First off,
Here's what we would like to do is if you can set up a time with Ronda Rousey, we'd like to have a hand. And this is the best time for him to go when she's still a little shaken from the fight. So we're going to try to arrange that because Jefe said he could take her. But, this is your chance, dude. She's kind of like.
first off, like with Ronda Rousey, I'm not, no offense. I mean, you guys seem bad. I'm not afraid of any man, nevertheless, a 5'3" girl.
She's like 5'6".
I thought she's 5'3", 130. That's what
No,
she.
she's like 5'6" and probably walks around between fights at like 165.
Yeah, but she's kind of little. I mean, but like in my lesson, this is what I've learned in life. It's the little motherfuckers you got to watch out for. The little quiet motherfuckers. Those are the people you don't fuck with. Like, I'd rather go fight some big fucking pussy that's like 6'2",
all right,
220.
We need a girl that's 6'2", 220 to come whoop.
I mean, they're out there. Gabby
Yeah,
Garcia,
right.
you should look her up.
You just should say,
I
I may
know,
have
not like
written
a pro-
my mouth may have written a check my fist can't cash.
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, you're not eager to like live up to this and push this forward, right? You don't want to get in the ring with any of these girls.
Okay,
Like, would you get in the ring with
up,
him, or would you be? Because that was his biggest thing. Is Jefe was hesitant to get in the ring with the girl because he didn't want to punch her and then be known as the guy who beat up a girl.
No, we won't do strikes then. We'll just submissions only.
Yeah, but that's
submission.
Yeah, but I'm a striker though.
Already.
Do you know when to back out of something, bro? I'm telling you,
That's the
I know
problem,
when to
dude.
go. Hey, cool. You know what?
All right, cool.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
sure. Yeah, all right.
Right?
Yeah.
An untrained
An
male.
untrained male against a trained female. The trained female will win every time.
Right. So when can we do this?
When
What if we?
fighting is my 9 to 5, right? I don't know shit about producing a radio show.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Thank you. Okay, so there we
This is
go.
where you graciously bow.
That's what I was just about
So
to
we
say.
can have like every other round. So like one
Okay, yeah,
round
we'll
we're putting together a radio show, and then the next round
round we
we're
fight real
Okay.
quick.
like,
This is gonna be weird.
yeah.
No, we're gonna try to start a whole new sport. Based on this. Dude, you were so I like you just needed to just bow out, and that's cool.
Dude,
And say, would you fight the Queen of Spades then? Do you want to fight the Queen of Spades? What if? Here's the thing I brought
not
up.
fight the Queen of Spades because I mean I don't know. I mean I trust
like
what
in
you
a-
say that you could probably kick my fucking ass.
At the very least,
right,
here's the thing too, is that at the very least, so this is my plug for girls out there to go learn some shit, is that at the very, very, very least, I wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say he's sandbagging me, he's like a crazy black belt, awesome, super crazy.
Right, you take some bath salts
Yeah.
before the match.
I at least know where to put myself to at least be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
for
not
sure.
like fighting as a sport isn't violence like fighting on the street. So it's
Yeah.
not like, oh, this guy's waylaying this girl. In the sport, there's not, I'm not going to treat you like a girl, so you don't have to treat me like a girl in the ring.
Well, and here's the thing. I want to just promise you this. When we go out, I'm not looking for a fight. If a fight comes to us, I expect you to step in.
I mean, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go to the not choreographed, but the pre-scripted events.
You could just be like the part of the crowd anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, I already was like Havoc knows. I'll get down with that. So no, it was awesome. The Queen of Spades. So you bow down then the Queen of Spades, right? Is that
just submit?
Just
tap
submit.
out,
Tap
bro.
out.
Tap
This is your chance to tap out. Tap out.
All right,
That's all it ever was.
All right.
That's all it ever was.
You seem like a pretty bad bitch.
Oh my God, he just called you a bitch.
Oh my God, I didn't mean that. No,
Oh my
please
God,
don't
how
hurt me.
disrespectful. Run, Jefe, run!
From the YOLO Rum Studios in Denver, Colorado.
This is
Larry Uncensored's Uncensored Podcast.
I Put a Spell on You.
It's always fun doing these podcast episodes. Crazy guests, and this time it's no different.
Right, this guy used to be an Olympic athlete. He has been in a bunch of movies.
Yeah, he created vaporware, which actually has a vaporizer built into your hoodie. It's Elvis Papi Edwards.
Thanks for stopping by the podcast, man. Like, how many movies have you been in?
Yeah, I've been in a bunch of movies, man. And like I said, I didn't even want to be in movies. They just called me and said, "Hey, we need you," and I was like, "Shit, okay."
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like not only Bad Boys, but you've been in what other movies?
I've been in Bad Boys 2, Too Fast and the Furious, Hitting It, Pirate of the Caribbean.
He was in the scene in Bad Boys, Elvis was, that pissed me off because this was the scene where right before they're about to storm the house,
yes,
and right before they get into it, and so the guys are in the tunnel like,
yes,
all right, we're gonna drive the electric car.
And guess who picked up the electric car? Me.
Oh, that was you. Oh God. I'm glad you're here because that scene has been pissing me off for years.
That's
because
me.
first of all, why wouldn't that be the first alarm that something is going wrong?
Listen, man. Listen. we had like because somebody get hurt on the scene because it was live. It was real bullet and real.
Oh no! Someone flew back when it happened.
Well, the stunt guy get hurt because it was a real. I mean, Michael Bay say we want real stuff. You know what I mean? So,
Right. He's like, I need somebody to get hurt.
People realize Bad Boys 2 was real, man.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
No CGI, no fake graphics.
Real explosion, man. Everything was real. Actually, because with me, my first movie, they subtitled me because they say your accent is too raw. And I was like, what? So they have somebody else speaking. I was like,
so they did a voiceover on you.
I was like, that's not my voice.
Right. And it was some guy that's like, hello, I'm your voiceover. Freeze, don't move. You're like, hey.
I was like, that's not my voice. I was like, shit, man.
Did you think when you were filming that scene in Bad Boys, you're all, this is stupid. Why is this remote control coming up to us and exploding?
Okay, listen about Bad Boys 2. I got killed the first day. And I was like, why am I here? You know what I mean? And I said, because they're like, no, we're filming the movie backwards.
Oh, okay.
So the last end could be the first end. So then I was like, what the hell? I've been on the set for 2 minutes. I get killed. I was like, why you guys tell me to take 6 months off? Because I was on the set for 6 months. You know what I mean? So they said, well, no, we're filming the movie backwards.
Okay.
And I was like, shit. So they said, I asked the guy, I said, so I'm done? He's like, no, you're not done.
You have another scene later because that's in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, so that's Michael Bay though. Michael Bay filmed the movie backwards.
So does he not want you to know what's going on? Is that the reason for
Well,
it?
I mean, as I said, I don't know what was going on because everybody, there's camera action, live bullet. I mean,
just do what you got to do, what your role is.
I know my role. My role is to play this mean bad guy and play the athletic one who dribble the ball. And then my role was to be some kind of sniper, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So, it's cool.
That's crazy. That scene just really always pissed me off because I was like, what kind of guards don't know that that's an explosive? Like, come on. Like, this random remote control car just comes up to you and you're just going to be like, well, let's keep playing soccer. It's like, and so the fact that you did that scene makes me feel better because that's been bugging me forever.
But you know what's funny? And there's a little camera on
the camera, on the little remote control car,
yeah, I know the little Hummer, little car, yeah. That scene was, man. I think we did like 6 times, and because the first time one guy get hurt because it was a real explosion, we have to learn how to jump.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they have rope tied.
Because when it explodes, you see a guy literally fly like into the air.
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah, because they had a rope. They had a rope on my back.
Yeah.
So you have to. It's all about everything but seconds.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then when they say, I mean, they have a guy, and boom, so somebody should be
flying back. Yeah, that's you.
And then you see a half a leg went, but that was a fake. Well, that was my skinny. I mean, that was my skinny days because people in Miami, when I go back home in Miami, they're like, you had the best body in history. What happened?
You're all legal weed.
I was like Denver.
You're all food trucks and legal weed.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? When you go do a movie like Bad Boys, how does that work when like it's the night of the premiere and stuff? Do you get to bring a guest? Do you get you know what I mean? Do you get to walk the red carpet, or is there any of that?
Actually, the premiere of Bad Boys 2, I don't think I was in the country. I left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because my little girl was just born.
Oh, okay.
So we took her to the Caribbean, I think.
But do they take care of you? Like, does the movie company keep in touch and go, hey, here's some shirts and...
Well, no, I mean, with me, I said, I never want to be seen, you know what I mean? And plus, I never use my real name. Yeah. I never use my real name.
Yeah.
Like when they make you follow this stuff, I never use my real name.
In movies?
Yeah.
Wow.
I never use.
So what's your name in Bad Boys?
I feel out because
you're Tom Frankfurt, exploding guy by remote control.
In Bad Boys 2, I think I was Frank. I can't remember what name I put on the freaking name. And they start calling, and then they start calling me Frank. I was like, who is Frank?
Now, what do you do? You don't have to say this, but what do you get paid for a role like that?
You know what's so funny? I went to my what do you call it when you put everything in a storage room,
right.
And I saw my first check from Bad Boys 2, and I started laughing. I was like, oh my god, this is like 11 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
And you never cashed it?
Me?
Yeah.
No, the first check I think because I wanted to make sure I show my kids that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
So I have it still in my storage.
Yeah, I would have photocopied that.
shit. Yeah. No, I didn't cash it because I was like, man, because then when I was on Bad Boys 2, Fast and the Furious called me too. Mm-hmm. So then my manager, it was my manager, but it was because I was modeling. Because remember, I wasn't an actor, I was a model, and they wanted somebody that like looked like Puerto Rican or like more, because the scene's supposed to be in Puerto Rico or maybe in the Caribbean. You know what I mean? So they cast me for a Caribbean guy who plays soccer. Plus he just like feet, you know what I mean? So
I mean, you could do really cool voice work too, dude. Like you could do commercials. You could be a character in like a animated movie.
No, man.
For real, dude.
You
got a great accent.
My accent is different because I grew up French. I know what makes me up because my country would get invaded by the French and the English.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Yeah,
so it's the perfect combination of both.
Yeah, so it make us have a French, English.
Yeah, it's
French
kinda
with
cool.
like an English dialect.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's why when I say Dominica, people think that is Dominican Republic, but I'm not.
Right. No.
Yeah. So no, to have a company. Vaporwave is worldwide, man. Actually, it's in China, it's in Japan, it's in South Africa. Actually, when my country, when you get a call from your country, like a radio station, say, hey, we want to interview because we saw your company. And we didn't even know you from Dominica.
So, what is explain to people what the hoodie is and how you came up with the idea?
Well, as I said, last 420, I had a friend from LA who called me and said, hey, I'm coming to Denver. His friend have a hoodie, and so he want me to help him market, and market, but come to Denver.
Right.
So I said, all right, come. I want to see this hoodie. What are you talking about?
Right.
But then I saw it and I said, good idea, but there's a bowl, and there's the lighter. I said, dude, this is a good idea, but this is like, this can burn somebody up,
Right.
Yeah, so I said, I want to put a fire on a hoodie, because what if you get a little drink, high, and you burn
For sure.
So I said, oh man, this could be big.
A really good idea.
Yeah,
because you did the vape pen. You were like,
yes.
Okay, you know what it is? It's the equivalent of like some of those hoodies that like let you put your iPod through it, and then some people have like little things where they can put water in it. So it's kind of like it's just wearing your technology.
Yes, and I said, you know what? I can back you guys, but I'm not gonna put my name after this. But then I said, you know what? I'm gonna see if there's a pattern for the vape one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm not gonna put my name over something I can get sued after.
Right, for sure.
So I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna do some searches and see. Because I know, because I'm in Denver. Weed is, weed is illegal here.
It's so different out here.
So
This attitude.
Is that why you moved here? Or how did you get here?
Oh no, I came here in '96. I was a sprinter.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a sprinter, and I grew up playing sports. I played soccer, I played cricket. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was good at everything. So I had two choices: either go to Europe and play soccer, or come here in America and run track.
What you like for a European team? Is that what you mean? You were that good?
Well, yeah, I was good. That's how I get a visa, come to America. You know what I mean? I was training for the Olympics.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. most people know my story, you know what I mean? Because as I said, for me, I was chosen because it's like many are called, but a few are chosen. I was chosen to come to play sports in America.
Good for you.
Yeah,
so that's awesome. So then, you played sports, and then how'd you end up in Denver?
Denver is the place for training for the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And actually, my ex-wife is from Denver, so I met her in the Caribbean training for the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
So she said, well, why don't you come to Denver and train? You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, shit. Maybe I should. You know what I mean? Because I know that, because I talked to my coach and I said, hey, I think Denver is the best place to train.
The altitude, because people come to Boulder and do cycling just because the altitude, you can just run for when you get down to sea level. You can.
When you compete, you have an advantage.
Yeah. So I came here and I love it. But I came in '96 in the blizzard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't like this place. This place is crazy.
You're used to Caribbean, man.
Yeah, I was like,
for sure.
I never see snow before. You know what I mean? And I was like, they put me in this weather to train. I was like, nah. I'm going home, man. I was like, this is crazy. Yeah,
so then
that's awesome.
So how'd that happen? You made it through your first snowstorm, and
well, what happened? They said wait 2 more days and it'll be sunny. I was like, 2 more days. this ain't melting 2 more days. And they're right. It was like 65 the next day. I was like, what the heck?
It is. It's really amazing. Yeah, because it can all go away real quick.
Yeah.
And if if the ground isn't cold yet, it really will just vanish.
Yeah. They were right. In 2 days, the snow was almost gone.
I love the fact that we do live in a city that's leading the way. You know what I mean?
Dude, I was so blessed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was good. Because remember, my dad went to jail for weed. You know what I mean? Nobody knows that.
See, that's fucked up.
Yeah, so that's why this is so much a big topic for me, because my dad went to. I didn't grow up with a dad. He was in jail for weed. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Smoking weed. So
lame.
It's
So then you get to this point where you realize what weed is, and you're like, "Are you kidding me? I didn't have a dad because of this. This is some bullshit."
I'm talking to my dad right now. I told him, "Hey, I'm in the weed business. He's like, your mom will kill you if you do. And I was like, because my mom, dude, you just stand up. I mean,
Right, it's a bad taste in her mouth.
Yeah, and I mean, because weed is taboo in the Caribbean. All of the Caribbean been smoking weed for years. Jamaica should be the first person to legalize weed.
And Jamaica was some of the biggest dicks about it.
Yes.
And you were like, and the people would be like, we're going to Jamaica on vacation. And they're like, woo!
Yes.
Then that's fucked up.
Because
and then it's like when you finally find weed there, it's
like,
that shit weed that they sell on the beach.
Yeah, and because you, unless you're in Amsterdam, right, or you're in America, like maybe 4 years ago, you say, "Oh, I'm going to Jamaica." The first thing in their mind is weed.
You already smell it before you get on the plane.
And when you get there, you're like, "Really?" You know what I mean?
Because having the music with no weed, what the fuck? Can you imagine just sitting around with your fucking cocktail? Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, you're like,
they should
really?
have been. They had like super harsh penalties for it, and the jails there are not easy and cool. And
that's where your dad was locked up. Was in the Caribbean.
Yeah, because my dad, like I said, my dad was a farmer, like a ganja farmer.
Oh wow.
If you want weed in the Caribbean, you call him my dad.
Oh wow.
And I grew up with, so I learned I learned to play sports and not touch weed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you touch weed, that means you're on the bad side. It's like Darth Vader. You're on the bad side.
Yeah, dark side.
No, for sure.
Yes, you're on the good. I mean, you're on the good side and you're on the bad side. So I grew up. My mom always tell me,
use the force, Elvis. Yeah, I mean, use the force.
Dude, Elvis, you need to write a book, bro.
Oh,
he's all, that's coming too.
Yeah.
Because most people, right? Most people like have dreams. They say, "Oh, I'm gonna be in the Olympics, or I'm gonna open my own company, or I'm gonna be in a movie." I think I did everything. I'm a foreigner. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like
not many people could say they were in Bad Boys 2 twice. If you want to check them out, it's VapeRwear. VaPrWear.com. You can check them out on Facebook. We threw them up on Larry's page. We'll throw them on LarryUncensored.com as well. But I mean, it's definitely
this is
the next
the perfect
stage.
gift for Christmas.
Yeah,
it really is.
Don't forget, I just invent dope ball. Hello, dope ball is my newest invention, and it's gonna be huge.
Dog ball?
No, dope.
Oh, what is that?
It's sports balls with.
Check it out.
Okay.
You can hide stuff in them.
Yeah,
dude, it's super cool. It's like real footballs, real soccer balls that you can store just anything. Like, it's kind of like technically just a cool case. Like
dope
you could
ball,
put
is that right?
the dope DOPE.
Dopeball.com.
Dopeball.com.
Yeah,
don't do dope balls because that'll take you to a site. Like,
No.
shit. Right on, dude. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys.
Thank you guys. Take it easy.
It's the most wonderful time to be queer.
Ding dong.
With gay marriage passing and male twerk dancing, everyone please cheer. It's the most wonderful time to be queer.
It's the happiest season of all. With those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings and trips to the mall. It's the gayest season of all.
There'll be drinks at the compound, then we're off to Boys Town and Lanny's Clock Tower show.
There'll be scary stories and big holes of glory and hopefully lots of snow.
It's the most wonderful time to be queer.
Big dongs.
There'll be much mistletoeing, but no camel towing. Grinder says you're near. It's the most wonderful time to be queer.
We have an NFL player, a Navy SEAL slayer, and that's just to start. We've got Wentworth Miller, Jim Parsons, and Sam Smith ruling the charts.
It's the most wonderful time to be queer. With the gay marriage passing and male twerk dancing, everyone please cheer. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time 2.